Boxing King Media, powered by BYD. Adam Smith, we're in Coventry. It's GBM. You joined the team literally like three events ago, 4 events ago. It's almost like you sparkled a bit of magic dust, and before you know it, Izzy's on a broadcast channel, Dazn.
Well, they've done the hard work. Izzy, Mitch, and the team. They put so much into GBM, and yeah, it was a pleasure to join them. And as I keep saying to them, the train is rolling, and there's real momentum. But we're only as good as our last show, and our next show is in 24 hours' time, and we can't wait for it. Coventry again. Danny Quartermain, Niall Berry, some really good fighters on the card. The two Irish sparkling duo of Kieran Malloy and Tin and Bradley. It's really good, and GBM shows are different. Atmosphere, the production is fantastic. You go away feeling like you've had a great night, and that's what I did when I went to the first show a few shows ago, as you said, and I just thought...
When you made your comeback on the comms.
Yeah, well, Izzy said to me, Johnny Nelson had a big do in Sheffield, and I bumped into Izzy and to see how he was going, and he said, we got a show next week, do you fancy coming and doing some comms? And obviously I've been out a long time with my cancer, and I wasn't sure I was ready. I probably wasn't fighting fit. I was probably only about 70-80% by that point, but I thought, why not? And I enjoyed it, and yeah, I loved it. I was with Spencer, and we had a great time. Jake Meskel was sort of behind the cameras, so I was in, very familiar company, and I loved it. I thought it was a great show. Everybody had a fantastic time around the arena, and I couldn't wait to go again. And so we had a chat, Mitch, Izzy and I said, look, I'll come and give you a hand. They brought Al Siesta on, who's a magician in the boxing world. He's so well connected, he works so hard, he's very intelligent, and I've never really worked properly with him, so that was exciting. I love Izzy's enthusiasm, as we all do. He's infectious to be around. Mitch and I have a story as well, because I knew him work with his dad. So yeah, it just felt the right thing to do, and I'm loving working with GBM. And yeah, we had a really good run on TalkSport on YouTube. We got some eyeballs, people talking about us, and I think that the DAZN guys were blown away by York Hall, and we had a meeting with Mike Ridout and the team, and here we are. We've got a fantastic opportunity. DAZN's a massive streaming platform around the world. Internationally, that's interesting. And also here at the UK, they're backing us, so they've gone with Matchroom as well, and we're in good company, my old friend Eddie and the guys. So yeah, it's fantastic to be under that umbrella, and it's now up to us to show why GBM are an emerging force in British boxing. I was at the press conference, as we all were, on Wednesday for the big AJ Dubois announcement, which is fantastic, and what Turkey and the team have done is amazing. And you see Frank and Eddie up there, now Ben and Calla, and I said to Izzy, that's got to be where you want to be. You want a place at that table in the next year or so. We're not ready. We need to be ready for that, and I think with DAZN we're going to grow together. We're going to attract more fighters. We've got a great team of young prospects, and yeah, lots of different stories and fighters, I think, that are going places. I think there's a couple of future world champions already on our books, and I'm sure most of British boxing are standing up and taking note of what GBM are doing. We're staying in our lane. We're nowhere near that sort of level that I was just talking about, but Izzy has huge respect for Eddie and for Frank and for Ben and for all of them, and I think we can work in collaboration as we join DAZN, and I think there's some really exciting nights ahead. So yeah, it's a really important moment for GBM, this, and we want to take it with both hands, and we start Saturday night in Coventry, and it should be a fantastic night.
Indeed, it should be. We're looking forward to it, and the fans, again, they can tune in on DAZN and watch Izzy Asif's debut on broadcast TV. You've also signed Sophie Alisch. I've just spoken to her, and a lot of people will see her. She's big on social media. She's been around for 5-6 years. Inactive, because of injuries and promotional issues, which is touched on. What I want to know, I know you're working with her now, you're part of the management team that's going to be guiding Sophie's career. What is the plan for Sophie? What are you going to do? Is she going to be signing with GBM? Are you going to be talking to everyone? What's the plan?
First of all, Sophie is an absolute diamond. I've spent quite a lot of time with her in the past weeks and months, and she's a fantastic young woman. She's young. She's got a terrific pedigree in boxing. She's a very good fighter. She's 9-0. Gemma Rueg's team were telling me the other day that she's the best that she's fought. I think she's going to become a world champion. She's got great fighters in her division, the likes of Sky and of Raven and of Karis, and some big fights ahead for her. But she's only a baby. She's 22, and she's very sensible. She's mature for that, and she's been through a great deal already. She's been out of the ring for a long time. She's now injury-free. She's training hard. She's running those mountains out in Mallorca. She's, I think, enjoyed the move from Germany to Mallorca in Spain, and I think she's an international fighter. She speaks well. She's got a fantastic following, as we know, on Instagram. She's very popular. She's extremely likable. She's charismatic, and she can box, and she's exciting to watch. So, yeah, putting all of that in a blender, that's fantastic. And she's authentic as well, Sophie. So I'm really enjoying spending time with her. I'm sort of, I guess, I'm her mentor. I'm guiding her. That's my role at Summit. Summit's the management team, you know, Ollie and Duncan. It's a great unit, but I guess I'm more sort of on the front line with her and making sure she's good and she's in a great place. And I think now she's a free agent. She's looking at where she can go. I think GBM would be a fantastic fit for her. So she's come to Coventry. She's going to sit down with Izzy and all of us and see whether we can make some magic happen. Because I think with the Dazn angle as well, you know, being an international fighter, being German, and Dazn is big in Germany as well as the UK and around the world. I think that's an extra little incentive. So yeah, we're going to get around a table sometime later today, and she's going to be around the show tomorrow. So let's see what happens. Watch this space. But Sophie Alisch is going to become a boxing star. She's already a bit of a star on social media, but that's not what she wants to become. She wants to become a world champion. She's a deep-rooted fighter. She was a very good tennis player. She's a great athlete. She did brilliantly in the amateurs as well. Boxed around the world, and now we're going to see the best of her. Once she's settled, she's got a good people around her. A great family. She's a great sister to her two younger sisters, one very little. She's got a cracking place in Mallorca. It's fantastic. I've not even been out there, but it's a farm. It's great. There's animals. There's kids. It's just great. And she's got a bundle of energy as well. So I'm really enjoying working with Sophie, and we're going to try and take her to the very top and make her dreams come true.
I think you've pitched her perfectly there, Adam, and I don't think you can say any more or any less. I think you've got a star on your hands, and what a fighter to start off your new venture as for guiding fighters. Other stuff I want to talk to you about, Adam. It's been a massive topic in the last 48 hours or so. Obviously, AJ Dubois. I've got to talk to you about the AJ Dubois altercation. Did you see the exchange? I'll just quote some of the stuff which I find quite fascinating. So, apparently the face-off was going fine, but it seemed like Dubois was saying it in a joking way, like, we can go right now if you want to go right now. And AJ said, well, don't disrespect me like that. And then Dubois was like, yeah, we can go right now. We can swing right now.
AJ said, I'll smash a chair in you.
Smash a chair in your face. And then Dubois basically said, who do you think you are? And then AJ, they both got up. And then AJ told Frank Warren, tell this little boy not to disrespect me. So fascinating. And it happened a day before the tickets went on sale. And I understand the tickets are pretty much 90% gone.
I thought the tickets would be 100% gone. It's the biggest show in British boxing for many a year, maybe the most enticing ever. You've got a fantastic headline attraction with two British heavyweights with so many little angles to go at. I mean, AJ, of course, trying to become a world champion for the third time. AJ back at Wembley Stadium. Daniel Dubois, now an IBF holder after that fantastic victory over Filip Hrgović against the odds. Both of them have settled with two trainers who have relit them and worked very hard on both their mental and physical side, in Ben Davison with AJ and Don Charles with Daniel. And of course, they sparred together many years ago. And I remember that. And
we spoke about that the other day, and he gave quite an interesting insight. But what I want to know, Adam, from you is, when you saw that exchange between them, was the sparring like that exchange?
Yeah. I honestly think this is going to be a really good fight. A lot of people are already dismissing Daniel Dubois, which I think is really disrespectful. I think that he has proved a lot of people wrong. The question marks after Joe Joyce, the question marks maybe even after Alexander Usyk, but he goes in and fights a big lumping Jarrell Miller, a massive guy, showing bundles of heart and courage. Then he goes in. Most people think he's going to get knocked out by Filip Hrgović. He takes a lot of punishment in the first couple of rounds, comes through the storm, gets better and better, and gives a terrific performance. He's only 26. Is he the favourite in the fight? No. Anthony Joshua's been there at these sort of occasions. He's got the experience. He did lose to Andy Ruiz, which was a big upset. And he lost to Alexander Usyk twice. He's not invincible.
You've been around a lot of fighters, Adam. I'm curious to know what you think of like the way, that situation in the face-off, how they both handled it. We see AJ he just walks. He's got this aura around him where it seems like he doesn't give a shit. And he's ready for like smoke if anyone puts it on him. He's like whenever he turns up at an event, it seems like that. He was in that face-off thing with the vest on. You might not know, but it's a character from Grand Theft Auto. I think it's the same sort of mentality, and then obviously Daniel's there with his shirt and waistcoat on. Just curious, what from your time in boxing, how you think they both kind of dealt with that altercation, the personalities, because some people are saying Dubois looked nervous, and then some are saying Dubois came out good, and then you got the other opinion that AJ put him in his place. What did you think of like having so much experience and seeing stuff like that?
Well, push and a pull, wasn't it, with Carl and George? These things can happen, right? It was interesting to watch. It's funny when AJ gets a little bit rattled, and Daniel, I'm not sure whether he was nervous or whether he was extremely confident. You can read a lot into a situation like that. I think the most important thing is that...
What do you read? Because I know you're a man of experience. You've seen this a million times, Adam.
What I read is that two guys want to fight, and both of them have got confidence because AJ's back rolling now. But Otto Wallin, Francis Ngannou, no disrespect, but Daniel Dubois is a step up in boxing terms, and I believe that. And Daniel, I think, feels that he's not had the respect that he should have. I think he's probably a bit upset that he's been given this IBF title as opposed to sort of winning it in the ring. But he's a world champion, and he's done ever so well. I'm a massive supporter of Anthony Joshua, as you well know. I've known him forever. I think he's a fantastic guy, and I think that he, is a fighter who deserves again a huge amount of respect. And I think both of them have had their critics. So it's time to fight each other. I think all of the stuff beforehand, I think Daniel's quiet, and obviously, it rattled him, and maybe it does go back to when they sparred. Daniel was a young guy. I think he felt he got the better of him. Some people said that he hurt AJ and had him in trouble. Joshua denies that. I certainly didn't see Daniel, smashing him up or anything like that. But what I did see was extremely competitive, and it was a young Daniel Dubois and a young professional in Anthony Joshua. And I think they both knew at some point they would fight. Obviously, AJ's been linked with Wilder, with Fury, with Usyk, with the other guys, but he's come up the quiet way in many ways, Daniel Dubois. People maybe didn't expect him. They thought he was the big thing at the beginning, and then it sort of went wrong, and he's proved he can come back, and he's still just 26. Now, Frank Warren believes in his man. Is he the underdog going in? Yes. Did he slightly rattle AJ maybe in that face-off? Possibly at the end. I think what I heard was that Daniel didn't say much during the face-off, and that maybe Anthony was annoyed and wanted to sort of spark something. But look, they're selling a fight as well, but they don't need to sell this one. These are two great British heavyweights in the Battle of Britain at Wembley Stadium. Riyadh season has been great. It's been fantastic in Riyadh, and what Turkey and the guys have done is amazing, but it's great that they're coming to America, they're going to Britain, and this is an enormous show. There's no undercard on this show. There are a ton of fights that could headline any British show fight night, a general Saturday fight night around the country. I love the fights. There's opportunities for guys like Tyler Denny that's just come like that. Anthony Kakache shone in Saudi, so he gets an opportunity again. Hamza Shiraz, an ambassador, brilliant to have him back. What a fight as well with Willie Hutchinson and Joshua Buatsi. And it goes to show that when opportunities come, I know Turkey's favourite fighter is Mark Chamberlain. Hasn't he done brilliantly? And Mark's loving it. And with that comes confidence. And you see those guys up there, it's brilliant. It's going to be a stellar show, some tasty hors d'oeuvres, a wonderful supporting cast to a brilliant main event. I can't believe 100% of tickets haven't sold out. I just hope there's room for you and I.
I hope so. Well, it's good that you pointed out, what Turkey's done there, bringing Riyadh season on a world tour. And I don't know if people know this, but he picks the fights and he tells the promoters, I want A to fight B, and make it happen. And it's fascinating. And the last thing I want to speak to you about, last night Carl Froch dropped a bombshell on everyone. He released WhatsApp messages between him and Anthony Joshua. Joshua called him a prick. And he went, who are you calling a fucking prick? And they've had a back and forth. And I think he played a bit of a video that AJ sent him about money, etc. But I think the video was slightly clipped. It didn't look like it was a full video, so we don't know what was fully on there. But from Froch's context, AJ's told him that I've earned more money than you, and you're a prick, basically, for the negative opinions that he has about AJ. Just want to know what you thought of that, because you know both men. What do you make of them observations? Is Carl right for talking like that about AJ? Was he right to release them WhatsApp messages?
Did you enjoy watching it, first of all?
Yes.
See, it's all about eyeballs, isn't it? And boxing's such a compelling sport in the ring, but also outside of the ring. There are so many characters, there's egos, there's fighters that believe that they're better than the others. And I think when you're a fighter, you're always a fighter. I remember a story with Carl when Kell Brook fought Golovkin, and Golovkin wins, and he's coming around the ring and he's eyeballing a few people in the audience, and Carl's like, you can't do that to me. And he's sitting next to me, right, the safe side of the ropes now. He's like, stands up. He said, I'll have him. I said, Carl, sit down. He shut up, right? I said, you're retired, it's finished. No, but I can have Golovkin. A fighter never loses it, right? Carl's a great guy, Anthony's a great guy, okay? They both got their opinions, they both got, their status in the sport, and they're both British boxing legends, right? They obviously don't like each other too much, or they've got animosity, or someone's not happy with what someone said. People are going to watch, they're going to have their opinions. All I know is I know them both very well. Anthony is a great guy. He's been a fantastic inspiration and ambassador for a lot of people in this sport, and has been the pin-up for British boxing, alongside Tyson Fury, who's done it in a different way. He's been the golden boy, hasn't he, AJ, in many ways? And, Carl sits on that 80,000 at Wembley. Well, AJ got 90,000 at Wembley, and everyone can have fun and games with it. But look, Carl's got his opinions. He's almost must-watch Instagram clips now, isn't he? I think he's just having a lot of fun. I think Carl's happy in retirement. As I said, he says what he wants. It's his channel.
I want to get your opinion as a person, though. So
both.
There's two opinions on this. Is Carl right for doing that? Is he right to have his opinion and be so expressive about it? And is AJ either right or wrong to take it too personal, or is he right for reacting to somebody who is obviously trained alongside to be saying them sort of things? Like, where do you kind of sit with it? What's the right and wrong in this situation?
I love fighters, right? They are the epicenter of our sport. We're all doing it because of fighters. They're the ones that are brave enough to get in the ring. Anthony Joshua, Carl Froch, very brave. If Carl Froch wants to say Anthony Joshua quit against Andy Ruiz, let him say that. I don't believe that. I think Andy Ruiz had his night. I think AJ had been down 4 times. There was nothing left, right? Everyone's got their opinion. I don't like disrespecting fighters that go through stuff, but fighters can do that because they've gone through the ropes. So I'm in a different position. I admire them. I admire what Carl did throughout his career. He's a good friend of mine. I admire what Anthony has done through his career and the way he's come back as well through adversity. Both of them had question marks, and I love that. I love both of the fighters, and so I'm sorry if that's what you don't want to hear from me. You want to get a bit of controversy.
I just want your opinion on it.
You're not going to get it, because I think they're both fantastic fighters who deserve a great place in British Boxing's Hall of Fame, in the International Hall of Fame one day as well. But there's egos flying around. There's, Froch has got a channel. Carl say what he wants to say. That's his way. He's going to be controversial. He's going to wind people up. And I think he'll probably turn the camera off and think, yeah, I got him there. I think it's fun and games. I don't know. I don't know if they could meet on the cobbles, because Carl he's always wanted to fight on the cobbles, hasn't he? Look, I think
I love both guys, but Carl's going to be a big underdog in that. He's giving away about 5-6 stone, maybe.
I don't think that. It's all, for me, it's all fun and games. It's all part and parcel, a little bit like AJ and Dubois. That's why we do Gloves Are Off. It's all part of the build-up. 95% is anticipation, isn't it? When that bell goes, we as broadcasters, we as hype merchants, whatever, cannot do anything. It's up to the fighters to perform. And I can tell you something, Anthony Joshua has performed time and time again. As Eddie Hearn always says, his resume is unbelievable. Carl Froch performed time and time again. He was a terrific fighter to watch. I'm like, tearing my hair out when we signed him for the Super Series, and he took ages to get going against Glencoff Johnson. So he's infuriated me at times, Carl. He's brilliant to be around outside the ring. He was a fantastic co-commentator with me at Sky. I've loved every minute of my time with AJ. I miss him very much, but I don't have that special time with him at the moment, but I'm enjoying watching him and seeing how it goes. I think his rebirth under Ben Davison, he had a fantastic trainer, Rob McCracken, and went through a different phase in his career, but he's got Ben now. I think Ben is brilliant for him. I think he's a terrific tactical trainer. I think that whole gym, they do their homework, and he executes his plan brilliantly. So I'm really interested to see how he'll perform against Daniel Dubois and how Don will be with Daniel. It's another underdog situation. It's another one that he's got to go in there. It's called Joshua v Dubois, despite the fact that Daniel's the IBF champion. So again, it's almost everything against Daniel. But Don Charles is a man that you want in your corner in that situation. He'll do everything he can to work out a battle plan, to be psychologically with Daniel, to build that confidence up. And so then in front of whatever, maybe it's Turkey's going to break records at Wembley. Maybe there'll be 96, 7, 80,000. Who knows what they'll be in there at Wembley on that night.
Wants 100,000.
Well, then get 100,000. It seems to be what Turkey wants, he gets. And I'm telling you, he's a boxing fan because, right, he wants these fights to happen. He's picking them. It's amazing that someone's come into the sport he's got obviously the wealth behind him in Saudi Arabia, but he's got the passion. I love that. He's passionate. I remember I heard that he saw the watch-along that we did in TalkSport when Usyk and Fury fought, and we all went mad in the 9th round, and he's like, I love it. I want to talk to TalkSport again. I want that, I want True Geordie out. I think it's brilliant that he loves our sport, and he's got obviously so much power at his disposal. He's brought the promoters together. He just seems a lovely guy when you hear him, and to have Mark Chamberlain as his favorite fighter and not one of the big heavyweights, I think is really cool. Joe Parker, Zhilei Zhang, so many fighters have come through and they've got their opportunity. The heavyweights are absolutely flying, and now he's got it through the divisions. Fascinated to see what this Saudi league's going to be all about, but it looks like Turkey is just shaking up boxing for the better, because fans are getting the fights. The fighters are getting huge purses, much better rewards. It's great for us at GBM and Boxer and Matchroom and at Queensbury, because we can put on these shows knowing that if you can get out there and onto a Riyadh season show, the fighters have got life-changing opportunities, and it is all about the fighters. Carl Sitz, a happy retired fighter. He's having a bit of fun, I think. He's controversial, he's enjoying himself, and he's got opinions, and people listen to that. You love him or hate him. I adore Carl Froch. I love AJ. I think he's fantastic. It's all water off a duck's back to AJ. He'll be back in the gym right now with Ben Davison working on Daniel Dubois. That's why AJ is where he is today at this stage of his career, because he's a sponge and he's going to be a real force. Can he become a three-time heavyweight champion of the world? Can he go and beat Tyson Fury? Fury Usyk, we know is going to happen in December. Mouth-watering times for us at the moment. These matches that were just dreams are becoming reality. We've all got to be happy. And if Carl wants a moan at AJ, let him have a moan. Everybody's watching. It's all good for the sport.
It's all thanks to, again, like you said there, Turkey and the Riyadh season for making this happen, because if it wasn't for them, I think we would still be sat in the same rut talking about potential fights. But it's all happening. Adam, it's been brilliant. Appreciate your time. That's it, really. All the best. Look forward to seeing you on the comms tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Really looking forward to a big night in Coventry, and then we roll through the summer and let's see what the autumn brings us. Exciting times for the sport.
Adam Smith, thank you very much.